All right, boys and girls, this is Miss Barakos coming to you today to read you the book Clark the Shark. As you can tell, Clark is at school, and so let's read to find out what happens. This book was written by Bruce Hale, and it was illustrated, so the person who drew our pictures was Guy Francis. Clark the Shark. As you can see, Clark's got some books with him, and he's got his pencils. He has an apple. Let's see what happens. Ooh, that's a cool school bus. It's in the shape of a submarine. That would be really cool to take to school. So there's Clark's school bus. He's at the bus stop, and he goes to Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. Here's his teacher, and it says, "In all the wide blue seas, in all the wide blue world, the top school for fish was Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. The biggest fish and the strongest was Clark the Shark." So here's his teacher in the classroom, and here's Clark over here. Clark loved school, and he loved his teacher, Mrs. Inkydink. He loved to play upsy-downsy and spin-a-majig with his friends. Carl loved his life. "School is awesome," shouted Clark the Shark. "Less shouting, more reading," said Mrs. Inkydink. "Lunchtime is sweet," yelled Clark the Shark. "Munch on your own lunch," said his best friend, Joey Mackerel. "Recess rocks," bellowed Clark the Shark. "You are playing rough, Clark," cried the other kids. So he's being a little bit too aggressive. So they don't want to get hurt because he's so much bigger than him. Or them, excuse me. Yes, Clark loved his life with all his sharky heart, but he loved everything way too much. He was too loud, he was too wild, he was just too much shark for the other fish to handle. After a while, no one would play with Clark. No one ate lunch with him. No one sat with him at circle time. Even his best friend, Joey Mackerel, said, "Cool your jets, Clark. You're making me crazy." Isn't that very kind? And here's Joey just stomping away. One day, Clark asked Mrs. Inkydink, "What's wrong with everyone?" Mrs. Inkydink patted his fin. "Clark, sometimes you play too hard, you munch too hard. Gosh, you even help too hard." "But life is so exciting," said Clark. "There's a time and a place for everything," said Mrs. Inkydink. "And sometimes the rule is stay cool." At recess, Clark tried to stay cool, but he pushed the swing with too much zing. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "Yikes!" cried Joey Mackerel. Here he's about to fall right out of the swing. At lunch, Clark tried to stay cool, but everything smelled so good that he munched a bunch of lunches. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "We're starving," said his friends. So if you look here in the picture, you can notice that he ate all of their food because he was so hungry. But he didn't think about his friends when he did that. In class, Clark tried to stay cool, but a good book got him all shook up. "Now, Clark," said Mrs. Inkydink, There isn't the time or the place. Tell me, what's the rule? Stay cool, said Clark. Hey, that rhymes, he cried. He's very excited about this book. Then Clark got a big idea in his sharky head. Maybe if I make a rhyme, I'll remember every time, he thought. And the next day, he put his plan to work. Well, let's see if it happens to work. In class, when lessons got exciting, Clark wanted to bounce up out of his seat. Instead, he told himself, when teachers talking, don't go walking. So he needs to stay in his chair instead of bouncing up and down. And what do you know? It worked. Attaboy, Clark, said Mrs. Inky Dink. Clark smiled. Lessons are fun. Oh, he's at lunch now. What do you notice about what he's doing? He's eating his own lunch, and he's leaving Joey Mackerel's lunch over here all to himself. At lunch, everything smelled so yummy. When Clark wanted to eat and never stop, he told himself, only munch on your own lunch. And it worked again. Way to go, Clark, said his friends, and Clark grinned. Lunch is fun. So it looks like he's at recess now, and they're on a seesaw. But look, Clark is so big and heavy that you can bear. All of these other fish over here can't even get it to go down. At playtime, Clark told himself, easy does it, that's the way. Then my friends will let me play. And playtime was fun. Once more, Clark loved his life. But then a shadow fell across the playground. A ginormous shadow with tentacles galore. Galore means lots of them. It's a new kid and he looks scary, cried Joey Mackerel. Swim for your lives. The squid squashed the slide and it snapped off the swings. Oops, my bad, said the new kid. Wait, said Clark. He just wants to play. Let's find a way. And he swam at the new kid with all of his might. Clark played harder than he had ever had before. Upsy downsy and spin-a-majig. Why, he even made up a new game called Tall Wumpa Lumpus. Wow, that was fun, said the new kid breathlessly, and he settled down. If you want to come to school, you got to stay cool, said Clark. That's right, Clark, said Mrs. Inky Dink, and thanks for taking care of our new classmate, Sid the Squid. Hooray for Clark the Shark, everyone cheered. Squid looks very happy. He's made a whole bunch of new friends already. Oh, looks like he's going home now. He took the bus home. That night, Clark's mother asked, what did you learn at school, dear? There's a time and a place for everything, said Clark. Clark said. Sometimes you stay cool. But sometimes a shark's got to do what a shark's got to do. That's it for today, boys and girls. We'll see you again next week.